Wonder Years just came out with a new video yesterday. Let's check it out. I'm curious to check this out because I'm a big Wonder Years fan. I got big into them on their early shit. Not being that guy, but I guess I'm being that guy. But no, I got into them on their early shit, and then they I kind of like I got older. I wasn't into the sad boy shit as much. I went through a big hip hop phase, and then I eventually like circled back on the Wonder Years pretty hard. It was funny. I was always like It was the album after the Upsides, Suburbia. Now I'm fucking. I'll call you later, Suburbia. Whatever the fuck it was called, I can't remember. It's the one with the pigeon on the roof, I think it is. I remember I liked that one. Then I kind of like drifted away because I was like, you guys are just sad all the time. I need someone else with answers. It's that you go through that phase where you're just like, music will fix the music will fix me, and then you realize you have to fix yourself, and then you realize there's no fixing. You just have to survive. And so I went away for the Wonder Years for a while, and then I forget the name of it, but whatever that last album was, I got back in on that, and I was like, oh, these guys are I forgot. They're sick. Because I was into them when they were in their big pop punk phase, and then when they shifted into being more like Midwest emo-y or whatever you want to call it, I just was like, pop punk or nothing, meh. And then I grew up, I got older, I got grown-up people problems, and I was like, you know what? This band, they've always been here for me. I just didn't realize it. And so I've been big into the Wonder Years the past year or two. Got back into them hard. So what's this? Junebug. Let's check it out.
Press my forehead to yours in a hospital room. You on the paper sheets, blue like a bruise.
I respect the Wonder Years for always being, always having every song having catchphrases. Because there's something about like in music like this, there's something about the phrase like in a hospital bed. Like, whenever it's, like, pop-punk, emo, adjacent music, there's always something where they use phrases like in a hospital bed. So, throwing it out. They said hospital room, but still, went hard. I love the consistency in the boys.
You fell asleep in my arms, deep in the afternoon. Black X on your brand new skin. Moment of truth. And I don't pray, so I know it's pathetic. When they wheel you away, I get down on my knees. I call you junebug, even though your middle name is August. It's true love. I knew from the minute that I saw you I'd wake up. I know your heart like my only friend. Sun is in love with you in the cool wet dawn. The light rests in your tangled curls. Strawberry blonde.
Skinny Drippin' in the chat asked, what would this genre be considered? I'm retarded when it comes to that. I don't know what it is. It's like, this is definitely, there's a bunch of these genres now that are definitely downstream from like traditional pop punk. When I say traditional pop punk, I mean like everything by Blink-182 before the self-titled. Cause like, and honestly, the self-titled did a good job at transitioning all these bands into this like emo-y, Midwest emo-y pop punk. So this is I don't know exactly what to call it because this, like when I think of Midwest emo, I think of much more, I don't know, because Midwest emo and math rock, they walk a very close line. But I would probably say, it's weird. You know what it is? It's weird to call this Midwest emo because I feel like what we understand as Midwest emo now, a lot of those bands were inspired by these guys. But yeah, I think at this point, the best thing to call them is like, they're like a pop punk soft rock or some shit like that. But soft rock always has like a negative connotation. Now, I think there's some legendary soft rock. You know what I mean? Like, and honestly, like yacht rock is in the vicinity of soft rock. Soft rock to me is not. A lot of people don't like using the term. To me, it's not offensive, but I get if people think it's offensive. But I would probably say this is sort of like, I don't know, mid-range Midwest emo or something like that. I don't know.
Listening to you to tell me your favorite songs. Spin around in the neon lights, singing along. But when I say that I gotta get going, you put your hand on my face and you tell me to say, I call you junebug, even though your middle name is August. It's true love. I knew from the minute that I saw you I'd wake up. I know you're hard like my only friend, but I don't know what to do with your birthday cards or hospital bracelets. I wanna memorize you with your hair still smiling up. The day fit in my palms forever. I call you junebug, even though your middle name is August. It's true love. I knew from the minute that I saw you I'd wake up. I know you're hard like my only friend. 'Cause I know you're hard like my only friend.
There we go, Junebug. Cellrat, Midwest emo is a specific genre of emo. Yeah, it's kind of how like, like a lot of times when you say emo music, there's sort of a spectrum people don't think about a lot of times because there's the emo that's like, you know, you could call it scene or whatever, where it's more fashion driven, where it's like more, you know, some kids you'd see at the mall with their hair teased up, wearing fucking skinny jeans and shit like that. That's gonna be like Escape the Fate back in the day, and probably like some early Fall Out Boy, where it's much more like pop oriented and it kind of has that like driving pop punk feel to it, but it's like it's got all the emo characteristics to make it mainstream and shit. And then there's like the emo where I don't know exactly the name of it, but it's more, I remember in high school it was the stuff girls usually listen to more, but then like dudes would secretly like. I remember it's cool now. Like now as an adult it's okay to say you like Dashboard Confessional, but when I was in high school it was like them and like other bands like Stray Light Run and shit like that, and then like Death Cab for Cutie. Actually, Death Cab for Cutie, a lot of dudes were never apologetic about that. But yeah, then there's these like more softer indie rock oriented emo bands. And then yeah, Midwest emo sort of developed where there's characteristics in a lot of Midwest emo songs of like hardcore music and post-hardcore and punk rock and stuff like that. But then they sort of yeah, they mix that with the much more emotional lyrics, the much more, you know, just that thing where you'd like, it's cool to be a fucking pussy, that kind of stuff. But yeah, it is sort of like a subgenre of emo, but it developed through, you know, a lot of, it developed through a lot of like pop punk and hardcore stuff, and then sort of taking that kind of stuff and mixing it with the emo shit. I have the urge to start cutting. Well, this is the tunes. I'm musically uninclined. That's okay. I'm autistic about this, so ask me whatever question you want. But yes, it is basically. I don't even know, because like for me, I don't even fully know what like maybe this is me being too deep in the woods and over analyzing it. I don't even fully know what would be like if you were like emo, what would be like the sound. Because there's some people, like I said, there's some people, to them, emo is like these older school bands like Texas Is the Reason, where they sounded much more like indie rock bands. And then to me, emo, I associate emo music to like early Fall Out Boy. Yeah. Like to me, this is like emo music. By the way, I can always forget. I have a paid account. This stuff like this, like early My Chemical Romance, where it's like, to me, emo music is sort of like it's similar to like fast-paced punk rock, but they kind of approach it in a more toned down, less distorted way, a more in a more lighthearted, oriented way. Because that was my generation. Would be like bands like Fall Out Boy, Taking Back Sunday, My Chemical Romance. Like they would be emo, but they would have like the punk subset. And then there's a lot of emo bands that they play a lot. The music's a lot slower. It's much more. It's much more vulnerable. Like this stuff's vulnerable, but it's like tongue in cheek vulnerable. And then there'd be stuff like this. Where was it? Like the Wonder Years song we just played. This is much more vulnerable, which was the thing about it that I actually really enjoyed. The song was good. It's definitely not compared to a lot of the other stuff they put out, this just sounds like a pretty good song on a great album. This wouldn't be probably like my number one, oh my God, I'm fucking going nuts over the Wonder Years because of this song. But it has everything about them that is good and I like. And if they have an album coming out for this, it's I'm excited for it. Oh yeah, they do. Look at that. Yep. Usually when you put out music, there's an album coming around. Okay, so we got one coming out in May. So yeah, I'll be honest. This is not like a Wonder Years tune that's like blowing my mind, but it is showing me that they're still like locked in. They can still put out really good music. And if you put this in the mix of an entire album, it's going to be a very, very enjoyable listening experience. So I'm very excited for this album to come out.